Hi guys, it's Gina. Welcome to the place where your growth meets mine. Do you ever get the feeling that everyone's getting ahead of you? Perhaps it feels like no matter what you do, you'll never catch up. It really can feel heavy, and it makes sense that you describe it this way. Feeling like a failure isn't a flaw in you, it's usually a signal that you're caring too much, expecting too much from yourself, or evaluating your worth through a distorted lens. A helpful way to phrase it might be, I'm having a really hard moment, and this feeling that I am a failure is a sign that I'm overwhelmed or hurting, not proof that there's something wrong with me. This approach treats the feeling like an information rather than a verdict. It turns a harsh internal attack into something that can stand, soothe, and move through. Consider whether this view of yourself might be untrue or distorted. Sometimes I catch myself feeling like I'm failing at life, and when I look closer, I realize it isn't because I've done something terrible. It's because my mind has been playing tricks on me. It magnifies every small mistake as if it's the end of the world, and it shrinks my achievements until they barely exist. It's a strange thing how easily the progress that I've made, but I know deeply how I can arrange this thing. And then there's the all or nothing thinking, that voice that whispers, if it's not perfect, it doesn't count. It paints everything in black and white, good or bad, success or failure, worthy or worthless. But life was never meant to be lived in extremes. Real life is full of gray areas, full of growth that happens quietly in the between moments. I'm starting to notice that these thinking traps don't reflect who I truly am. They are old fears, they reflect old beliefs and patterns that I've been carrying for too long. They distort the view, like looking myself through a wrapped mirror, and I let these distortions define me. If you suffer from this schema, your perception of yourself is likely to be distorted. You're likely to be vulnerable to falling into thinking traps such as magnification and minimization and the black and white thinking. You might wonder what these are. Magnification and minimization is when we magnify the importance of insignificant events like mistakes and minimize the importance of our strengths and achievements. Black and white thinking, on the other hand, is when we split the world into polar opposites, good or bad, success or failure, without seeing all the shades of gray that are in between. So thinking traps lead us into having a view of ourselves and the world in general that is out of balance. Recognizing this imbalance is the first step towards challenging it. Connect with the childlike parts of you that feel like failure. Here is a part of you, a very young part, who still believes that mistakes define your worth. A part that learned long before you had words for it. That being imperfect meant being unlovable, inconvenient, not enough. This childlike version of you isn't wrong for feeling this way, but they are scared, they are tired, and they are carrying expectations that they were actually never meant to carry. And maybe you have spent years pushing that part of yourself away, trying to be the strong one, the capable one, the adult who never cracks, never falls, never disappoints. But beneath all of that effort, there is this little voice whispering, I'm failing, I'm failing, I'm failing. And today, instead of silencing that voice, try turning it toward it. Try sitting inside that younger self, the one that wants safety, wants love, the one who tries so hard to be perfect because they believed perfection was the only way to be worthy. That little self who once trembled at smallest criticism, who learned to hide tears and quiet their voice so as not to be a burden, who believed that perfection was the only way to survive, to be accepted, and it never truly was. So, that shape, the way that we see the world and ourselves, and the years that they taught you to be strong and resilient, still feels the sting of judgment, still doubts that everything will never be enough. And as you hold them there, as you whisper to them, as you let the ache of old wounds rise and fall without fighting it, without shaming it, without trying to fix it, you begin to realize something very remarkable, that this act, this quiet, trembling act of love is not weakness, it's not indulgence, it's not something to be ashamed of, but it's an act of courage, of pure and unshakable courage. The courage to see yourself fully, to accept yourself fully, and to begin to see the adult that you've become and the child that you once were are not enemies, are not separate, and are not in conflict, but are parts of the same whole intertwined and resilient, capable of holding imperfection and worth at the same time, capable of living, capable of thriving, capable of learning to carry yourself with compassion, integrity, and honesty. And in this gentle way, but yet powerful recognition, in that long hail of acceptance, let's say, in that moment when tears, breath, and silence meet, you begin to understand something vital, that you're not failing, you're not broken, and you are not defined by your past mistakes and fears, or your doubts. Are performing an act of love towards yourself as an act of liberation and an act of strength, an act that sets you free to live fully, courageously, and honestly. So speak to the child within you, speak to the child that's hold them inside, listen to them, love them, and in doing so, please remind yourself that with every beat of your heart, that you are healing, you are growing, and that you are enough. If this message resonated with what you needed to hear today, please feel free to subscribe to my channel, not for me, but for you, because here we talk about deep topics, not cliches. I will definitely see you in the next video. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And until then, take care and stay safe. Bye.